guys, welcome on this new Coach Live Academy Lab Guide. I'm Corentin, Guinez, and today we're gonna go with the AMG GT4 around Sebring for the week 2 of the new season in the GT4 Falcon series. So yeah, as usual, first we're gonna go with the hot lap, and then I'm gonna go into more details about the combo. So yeah, let's go. Okay, guys, here we go for the lap around Sebring with the AMG GT4. Here is the start finish line. I'm gonna go to the right side of the track, basically to prepare T1. And as a braking point, I will look at the right wall. And I'm gonna look at this part of the wall, like when it goes back to the inside of the track, pretty much like this point exactly. And I'm gonna go as close as I can from this one, and then I'm gonna jump on the brakes slightly because I need to find a lot of rotation out of the brakes. I'm gonna reach the apex on the inside, and then as soon as I'm close to the apex, I'm gonna go back on power. As you can see, I'm gonna try to reach the curb on the exit. Main target is to be able to carry as much speed as you can on the exit. It's basically it's the base of the GT4 pretty much. Then I'm gonna reach the second corner of the track, and I'm gonna brake basically between the two row of cones. So basically between those two cones. So I'm gonna brake in the middle of this one. I could brake like at the second row of cones, but I think it's a bit too late with the GT4 because you need to brake pretty heavily and you're gonna hit the ABS and lose all of the rotation. And also because it's really tight section, so I prefer to like brake a bit earlier for this one, and then being able to go faster on the exit, because if I brake too late, I'm gonna have to brake more and I'm gonna lose too much speed. So I prefer to brake a bit earlier for this one, not using the ABS, but then having a better exit. So as you can see, I'm going a bit back, and then on the brakes, I'm trying to avoid as much as I can the ABS, even if I need to use it anyway. And then I'm going to try to find the rotation out of the brakes. And then I'm going to go back early on power to find the rotation. I can get some of the curb on the inside for this one, but be careful to not use too much because it's an easy off track and it's the best way to ruin a good lap in quali. So as you can see, just the right wheels on the grass. And then for the entry of this one, I'm gonna try to go wide on the entry because I want to prepare my exit. So it's the best way to do it. I think I'm going with second for this time. yeah, as you can see, I'm dropping to second. So I'm dropping to second on this one, and then I'm gonna try to same prepare the entry. So I'm wide, and then I'm going across the inside, and then I'm gonna short shift to third on the exit because you can easily have some wheel spin with the AMG, and it has some good torque, so you can pretty much easily go with third gear on the exit, and it's the same for like most of the corners. So as you can see, reaching the apex, no need to use the inside curb, and then quickly to third gear, and then I'm gonna use all of the curb on the exit. Then we're gonna move quickly to the hairpin, tricky part of the track, best overtake opportunity of the track as well. Left side of the track. And as a braking reference, I'm gonna look at the first 4 cones on the left side of the track on the grass. And then I'm gonna brake like as soon as I pass them. So as you can see on the brakes, like as soon as I can't see them anymore, I'm gonna jump on the brakes. You can brake evil on this one. Main target on this one is to find the rotation. Like as soon as you're getting close of the apex, you're gonna release the brakes pretty quickly, as you can see. And then I'm gonna go back early on power because I need to find the rotation also, because I can't find the rotation just by steering or on the brakes. I need to find the rotation as well on power. Also, I need to have traction and find the speed. So I need to go back early on power. And also because you're gonna have to lose too much speed if you just put everything on the brakes and on the steering wheel. So yeah, main target is to not brake too late, otherwise you're gonna lose too much speed. And also because if you go too wide and you like miss the apex, you're gonna have to slow down even more. So it means you're gonna have to put even more rotation on the steering. You're gonna have to brake even more, and it means you're gonna have to go later on the power, which is the thing you don't want because it's the, like I said before, it's the thing you have to think about in GT4 is going very early on power to find the rotation. So if I go back a bit later, a bit before, sorry, I'm gonna brake. I'm gonna release the brake. As soon as I'm getting close of the apex, I'm gonna release the brakes and then quickly I'm gonna go back on power, like in the middle of the apex, and I'm going really aggressively, as you can see, like maybe 75%, I would say. But one thing is important as well is do not go too much on power early, like not going like from 0 to 100%, otherwise you're gonna get wheel spin and you're gonna lose. Like, so it's not, the point is to find the right limit. I guess you're gonna find the limit during the practice. It's not something you can do by instinct, really. You really have to figure it out and find it with the practice. So yeah, just make sure to find the limit on power on the exits, but it's the way to go, just to find the rotation out of the power. And then we're gonna move to the next corner, which is really important as well. It's pretty tricky because you have to think about this next corner, but also about the left corner, which is about to come quickly. Then we're gonna move on this one, and for this one, I'm gonna brake at this row of cones on the left side. So as you can see, I'm braking pretty early for this one, actually, like a bit before this one. So like I would say, if I look at the outside of the car, I'm braking pretty much between the 2 row of cones, yeah, exactly in the middle. But for me, like it's pretty close of the windshield, so yeah, for me it's like, yeah, it's basically in the middle of the 2 row of cones. And then I'm gonna brake pretty heavily for this one, but the thing is that I have to release the brake pretty quickly because it's a bit of camber, I would say. At least it's from my POV, it's a bit of camber, and I have to brake to release the brake pretty early because if I stay on the ABS, it will like, the car wants to go like on the outside. And the thing in this one is you have to stay pretty tight on the exit because you have to think about the fact that the next corner is a left-hander, and you have to stay flat out for this one because it's quite important to carry the split to these two. So as you can see, I'm not braking too late. As you can, like I said, I thought I was braking a bit later than that, but actually I'm braking in the middle of this one. And because I don't want to go too wide on the exit and then miss the next corner, so I'm braking pretty early for this one. And then I'm gonna try to stay tight. As you can see, I'm not trying to reach the curb on the outside because I want to keep a lot of power. And as you can see, it means like I can stay flat out for this one. Then for this one, you can get some curb, I would say. No need to get too much curb because then it will bounce too much. And then we're gonna move to the next corner. This one is pretty tricky because it's pretty bouncy as well, and don't really arrive straight on this one. So you have to make sure that you are able to put the car as straight as you can. So the thing is that I'm not gonna try to go straight away to the left, because for me it doesn't make much sense, as if you arrive like on the right side of the track, you will gain some time because it's a shorter distance. So I'm gonna try to put the car as straight as I can when I'm getting close of the cones on the left side, and then I'm gonna try to brake as straight as I can. As you can see, I'm not putting too much steering angle. So then I'm gonna brake like as soon as I'm getting close of the left cones, and then I'm gonna brake quite a lot, even if I'm not putting too much ABS. Otherwise, I'm gonna go straight, and I want to find a rotation on this one because, like I said, it's pretty tricky corner, I would say. And because in the same time you have to carry quite a lot of speed, because then you have quite a long straight. It's kind of a straight. So then I need to find the rotation on the brakes. I'm releasing the brakes, and then, like I said before, I'm using quite a lot of power on the exit, which helps me to find the rotation. It was a bit wide of an exit, but it's fine. I didn't get the Jeff track, but it's better if you stay just on the curb. But it's actually, it didn't lost much time out of this exit, so it's fine. And then we're gonna move to the funniest part of the track with all the curbs. Then, as you can see, this is all flat out. Just for this one, you can take quite a lot of curb. I think on the GT cars, like GT3 cars, it doesn't work, but with the GT4, it seems to be good enough to use the curb. So you can gain some time. Like, it's not gonna be huge time, but if it's 1 or 2 thousand, it's good enough. And then for this one, I'm gonna try to brake as straight as I can. So I'm gonna brake the first cones, and then I'm not gonna try to brake too heavily, because then I don't want to reach the ABS, and also because I want to find the rotation for this one. This one is actually pretty tight, and also I have to think about the next corner, which is the left-hander, and I also need to not carry too much speed, otherwise I'm gonna miss the corner and miss the inside of this corner. But we will see that a bit later. So as you can see on the brakes, like 60% or so, and then as soon as I'm getting close of this row of cones, I'm gonna turn even more in. So I'm just using basically these cones to basically be the point where I'm gonna turn in a bit more. So as you can see, still on the brakes, trying to find the rotation. And I'm gonna try to use as much as I can on the inside. You cannot use too much because it's a slowdown. So if you put like the both left wheels on the curb and the two right wheels on the inside, it's gonna be a slowdown for sure. So the best is to slightly put your right wheels on the curb and maybe a bit more on the inside of this curb, but do not be too greedy, I would say. And then, as you can see, I'm going on power, but I'm not going flat out because I have to think about the fact that the next corner is coming pretty close. And as you can see, if I'm going fully on power, it's gonna be a bit sketchy. I may have a bit of sideways moment. And also, I found that if you manage to like find some limit on the throttle, it will give you more rotation. At least it's gonna be easier to control and to find transitions between this right corner and then the left one, and then you have another right. So it's pretty fun section, but in the same time, it puts you pretty much on the edge because you have to find the limits on the brakes, but also on the throttle. And for this one, I found that if you kept around 95% throttle, it gives you a bit more rotation. It makes your direction changes and transition a bit easier, I would say. So as you can see, I'm not flat out. I'm just putting a bit of throttle like in the middle of this one, but then I have to lift because then I have to use this curb, and I can use pretty much all of the inside. I can put like my left wheels on the left side of the blue and white curb, but also I can put my right wheels on the blue and white curb, even if I think I just stay on the yellow line. Yeah, I'm just reaching the curb at the end, but this is not a slowdown, so it's fine. But be careful to not be too greedy, like I said, because it can be an off track or a slowdown which ruins like the race or the quali. But this way gives me a better angle to approach the next corner, so you can use quite a lot and be aggressive on the inside of this corner. So basically use a lot of curb. And then for this one, I'm gonna try to go as wide as I can on the entry to have the best angle possible. Because basically, if I stay on the right side of the white line, I'm gonna have to slow down way too much, and then you have a nice rate afterwards. So you have to really think. On this track, it's pretty much about thinking about the next corners, and it's pretty much the same on every track. But this one is even more to me. It feels so. Like I said, then I have to go really wide on this one, and then I'm gonna try to find some rotation out of the brakes. But as you can see, because I prepared pretty much very well these sectors, I just have to put some brakes on the entry to find the rotation, and then I'm gonna use the throttle to find the rotation because I'm not going any wide, and then I'm pretty good on the inside of this one. On this one, you can use quite a lot of curb, but it's the same. Like you have to not be too greedy because if you go with the always on the curb, it's gonna be a slowdown. I think this way it's fine. As soon as you keep the left wheels on the yellow line, it's okay, I would say. But if you put like the left wheels on the second half of this blue and white curb, I think it's gonna be a slowdown. But yeah, just to not be too greedy, I don't think it's necessary. One good thing also about this curb is at the end it's not that bumpy. I would say it's not that harsh. So you can go through the end of this curbing right there. It's pretty flat, so it's better for the exit. It doesn't bounce. I think with the AMG it's fine, but if you do the same with the Porsche or with the McLaren, for example, it can be a bit sketchy because it bounces pretty bad sometimes, and you can lose some traction. But I think with the AMG it's fine. It's still better to use it no matter which car you use. And then for this one, you can use all of the curbing on the exit. And now we will approach the last corner, which is really interesting, really bumpy. So as you can see, up to fifth gear, and then I think I'm staying with fifth before the last corner. And then for this one, I'm gonna turn in as soon as I'm getting past the 3 cones on the left side, and then I'm gonna reach for the middle of the track. I would say I'm going pretty wide on this one actually because I want to have a tight exit for different reasons. First, because I want to carry a lot of speed around the exit of the track, and if I go to sorry, I prefer having a tight exit on this one because if I go too wide, I'm gonna have to go wider as well on the exit, and there is like a huge chip on the exit, which is definitely for me no way. It's just making you lose time quite a lot. So basically, I'm going wide on the entry of this one to have a tight exit. So I'm going really wide, finding the rotation on the brakes. Can we do it again? Because I just messed up a lot on this one. In the middle of the straight. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here is the last corner. As you can see, I'm braking like I'm turning in as soon as I'm getting close to the 3 cones on the left side of the track. And then I'm going to try to have a wide entry of this one because I want a tight exit as well. Because having a tight exit on this one will means I will put a bit less steering angle, and then it means I can go earlier on power and also stronger because it's really bumpy. So if you put too much steering and same too much throttle application, you're gonna have some sideways moment and you're gonna lose too much time. So I prefer to have a wider entry and then tighter exits than just going completely tight on this one, because obviously you're gonna gain like a lot of time, like maybe 3 or 4 tenths by going tight on this one, but then you're gonna lose everything on the exit. So as you can see, I'm going really wide. I'm putting quite a lot of brakes, but then as soon as I'm having the right line, I'm gonna release pretty quickly the brakes, and then I'm gonna early on power, as you can see, a bit of brake still to find the rotation, and then I'm pretty good. The line is pretty good. I'm pretty tight on this one, and then I'm gonna go flat out on this one. So I'm gonna go back with the chase view. Maybe it's a bit better to explain that line. Try to find a red camera. Give me a second. Perfect. So then, as you can see, I'm going really wide. I'm gonna reach the white line, basically, still on the brakes. Then I'm gonna try to find a bit of power again because I think I braked a bit too much on the entry, but it's fine. As soon as you get that line correctly, it's fine. And then when I'm right at the end of the entry, I'm gonna go back on power, trying to find the rotation. I'm not going straight away flat because then I'm gonna sideways. And then for the exit, I'm really on the inside, like going across the yellow line. And then I'm gonna try to not go too wide on this one because as you can see, there is a dip. I think it's right there. I'm gonna go back on the inside view. Yeah, it's this one. There is like a dip right there with then a sort of bump or something. And then you're gonna lose too much time, I think, out of this one. So I will stay away from the tire wall. I'm not gonna try to do close of it. I think in real life they go kinda close of this one, if I remember, but I'm not really sure. But one thing I'm sure is that you don't want to really go too wide, no matter which car you use. Actually, on iRacing, because then you're gonna lose too much time. And I think there is a chance to go sideways if you don't get it correctly. And yeah, that's it for the lap around Sebring. Pretty fun track to be honest with this car. So yep, Hope you enjoyed it. Alright guys, that's it for today with the AMG GT4 run Sebring for week 2 of the Falcon GT4 Challenge tire. Hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned a bit from it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and as well join the Discord server if you have any questions about the setups or the lap guides. And yeah, see you next time for next lap guide. See you guys. Bye bye.